What's up, guys? It is Monday. It is May 25th. Okay, so this is the last Monday in May. I cannot believe how fast May is going. So I just want to thank you guys for popping on What's a 411. Thank you for joining me, Miss Ellie. Oh my gosh, it means so much to me that you guys are out here listening to what I have to say. And of course, we're supporting Toronto because Toronto is just the baddest city, right? And I don't know if you guys were on Instagram, excuse me, on Saturday, but I feels like everybody was on Instagram on Saturday watching the Beanie versus Bounty. Oh my gosh, like it was crazy. Oh, my kids they probably thought I was wild. They were asking me like, what the heck is wrong with you, Mom? I was going crazy. It was out of control. It just brought back so many different memories, and just some good vibes. You know what I mean? Just all around good vibes. It was just nice. It was a nice time. I think everybody that was talking about it on Instagram, everybody like across the whole entire world, I believe, that logged on, whether they could understand half of the business that was happening, half of the talks, or not, everybody had a good time, like regardless. So I just want to send a big shout out, of course, to Versus TV, to Timberland and Swiss Beats. I believe they're the ones that put it on. And then, of course, to the whole of Jamaica. Beanie Man and Bounty Killer just put it down and just represented for, they say, the culture, but at the end of the day, it's for Jamaica. It's for what they do. Jamaicans are just talented, you know what I'm saying? And I often ask my parents, I asked my mom, well, I can't really ask my mom because she was brought to Canada at a young age, but my dad, who is Trini, and I often ask him, like, why did you come here? Like, why did you guys come here? The island life is just such a nice life, like the sunshine, the good food, you know, just everything. Why would you come here? The beach, the sun alone. If you can understand how much I love being outside, like I've been outside the entire weekend. As soon as the sun starts coming out, I just don't want to stay home anymore. I just get that itch and I'm just like, I'm out of here. Go on and go outside. Hey. So I was just encouraging everybody to go outside and catch the sun rays because the sun is just, it's out here right now. You know what I mean? And we just got to soak it in. So thank you for joining. I was just talking about how if you weren't on Instagram on Saturday night just enjoying the good vibes with Bounty Killer and Beanie Man, it was out of control. They probably have so much on the replay, like everybody was replaying it. Even if they were there, they were replaying it over and over again. Like it was just crazy. And, you know, it was a good time, I believe, had by everybody. Everybody that was there had a good time, right? So, and I was just talking about this beautiful weather that we're having, encouraging everybody to get outside and just let the sun kiss you. You know what I mean? Just get kissed by the sun. It's the greatest thing. Once the sun hits you, you just feel nice. You're hot, of course. You know, you may get a little sweaty and a little irritated, but it's just the best. I don't hate winter. Everything serves a purpose, right? But at the same time, winter's not my favorite. Winter is not my favorite. My favorite is springtime or summertime. Like, I love the both of them. Even fall is not too bad, you know, where you have to wear a little jacket, but it's still nice. I like, though, summertime where you don't have to get the luggage. You don't have to have that sweater, the hoodies, this, that. You just get to be outside and just enjoy it. So today I was online. I was talking about this morning about the quote is, do as I say and not as I do. And I feel like a lot of Caribbean, West Indian people could relate to this quote. I know I definitely heard it so many times growing up, you know, do what I say to do, not what you see me doing. And so I seen a picture today online and I'm like, this is perfect. This has to be posted. And it was a lady and she had her phone and her son had a phone and she looked over at the other lady at the bus stop and she was like, how do you get your child to read a book? But the other lady had a book in her hand. So it's just what it is. We have to be the example for our children. I feel like we need to show them, we kind of need to guide them and let them know what it is that they need to be doing. I mean, they're not always going to follow our lead, but more times, 9 times out of 10, if you have a child and you're raising a child up, they will definitely follow your lead. You end up seeing them speak the way you speak, act the way you act, react the way you would react. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not so funny, you know what I mean? And as a mom, you know, as an aunt, as a sister, as a cousin, I see it all around me all the time, and I feel like it's really important for us to be conscious of the things that we're doing around our kids. So you want to show your kids the importance of putting down the tablet, putting down the phone, and reading more, because I feel like reading is just so important. Not only just reading, but doing things other than being on the tablet or being on the phone, right? So you want to show them how to do arts and crafts, you know, let's say going outside and enjoying the weather instead of being on your phone while you're out there. Walk, you know, take your shoes off, feel the grass in between your toes, and, you know, my son likes to run around and pick dandelions for me, you know, he just swears they're the most beautiful flower. And hey, you know what, whatever floats your boat. He loves bugs. I'm not a bug person. Anybody who knows me knows that I don't like bugs, but I love the outdoors. Like, it doesn't go together, but at the end of the day, it goes together. So yeah, so it's just encouraging everybody to get outside, be out there, feel the, you know, the warmth of the sun, enjoy the sun, but also do something different. I think during this quarantine time also, we've been challenged. This is a super challenging time. Challenging for us to take a look at what needs to be done within our homes. So you see, at the beginning of this quarantine, everybody was house cleaning, spring cleaning. You know, I remember taking a walk in my neighborhood and you see people washing down their windows, doing their baseboards, doing a whole bunch of things that they probably wouldn't necessarily have as much time to dedicate to you know, that type of stuff. So we got our homes in order, right? And there was only so much cleaning that you could do. And then we started doing other things, right? So it's really important to get out there, do some different things, and push yourself. So during this quarantine time, it's like, it's challenging. It's super challenging for everybody, I feel, to find out what it is that they want to do. Like, you know, to figure out what it is that we're actually sent here on this earth to do. And I remember reading about this, like, it took, I believe 5 million, or I'm not going to quote it, 500,000, I'm not sure, but there was a whole bunch of sperm, and out of that bunch of sperm, you were created. You, one, came out of all of that. So you best believe there's a purpose for you. There's definitely a purpose, and I believe out of all that, out of all those millions or billions, there's a huge purpose on your life. And it is important for all of us together to understand the importance of everybody's purpose. And we all need to, I guess we would all need to complement each other's purpose, if you understand what I mean. Like, everybody has something that they need to do, and I think that we all complement each other. Like, I was looking at the ants outside. I know, as I said, I'm not really a bug person, but then I was watching the ants, and I'm like, look at all these ants and the way they connected to build their little home and to do their thing. And I was looking at that, and I'm like, there's something that we could learn from the ants, you know, how they work together. They all have a specific job. Even though their job seems like it's the same, I don't believe it truly is really the same. You know what I'm saying? So we are building something. And we have these children, as I mentioned today, whether you're a parent, whether you are an aunt, an uncle, a friend, a cousin, whatever you are, when you become an elder and when you become an adult, there's a responsibility for you to just be great and do great things, right? And to push yourself to aspire to greatness. So I just wanted to put that out there today. That's my message for today. So, of course, today we're super excited to have our interview, Natel's on Instagram. That's Nathaniel Fray-Smith. We're just waiting for him to pop on right now. Very, very excited about that. And I just wanted to send a big shout out to Sarah from last week. Sarah came all the way through last week. It was a 2-hour special. And of course, I did not save the video properly. I'm sorry, guys. It was something to see. Like, it was honestly something to see, something to hear, something to learn from. So I just want to send a big, big shout out to Sarah from Lighting Up Dark Corners. She came in, she spoke about her own personal journey, but she also spoke about how we can, again, help the youth to understand and feel comfortable in their own skin, feel comfortable in speaking about certain things that sometimes aren't so easy to talk about, but also recognizing when somebody has a problem and how we can throw out resources to help them. Now, we did talk about, when somebody reaches a different age, it's hard to just help, right? It's hard to just actually help somebody who's not interested in the help. They have to really want the help, but it's always good to offer your help to individuals and offer that to people that you see out there that are in definite need. And as I mentioned today in my post, we were once youths, we were once young, and some of you may still even be quite young, but we have to remember what it is that we needed when we were young. And I often think about that. I often think about what it is that I wanted from my parents, what I wanted from my siblings, what I wanted from my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my grandparents, like what I wanted from my family, and then what I wanted from my friends out there who didn't necessarily give me what I wanted, but also because I couldn't communicate what I really needed from them. So it's important for us as adults, when we see certain things in our youth, to make sure it's pressed upon you to do what you can to assist them in ways that you needed when you were young, right? So we are waiting right now. We're waiting for Nathaniel to pop on. Okay, so I'm just going to keep talking until he makes his entrance into the studio, we'll call it right now, into the Instagram studio. But yeah, so I'm going to be having actually another 30-day, another 30-day challenge coming up. And this one is a challenge. I'm not going to tell you too much about this challenge. I like to just post things as they come to me. So it's been on me to do another challenge. The last challenge was super, super, super hectic, super hard. Oh my goodness. Shout out to BFit, Bernadette. She helped me do the last challenge. It was out of control. Like, working out is great. You need to exercise. You need to do your thing. It's important. I had a great meal plan. I had a great workout plan, so I had something to do daily, and it gradually grew. So it wasn't like I was swamped with everything all in the beginning. It was like, at the beginning you do this, as soon as you get on the ball, you introduce new things as the weeks progressed, and it actually was really, really good. Now, on the 30th day, I was like, yes, I'm going to take a break. I'm good. I was done, my challenge. And then here I am today. I haven't jumped back on. I haven't started working out again. I mean, I do a little bit here and there, but I haven't. There were a couple of rules that I want to share with you that Bernadette told me that were very, very essential to helping the 30-day challenge work for me. And that was having a proper meal plan. So figuring out what it is that you want to eat, how you want to eat, and what is important for you and your diet, because everybody's different. So the meal plan was geared towards me, and that was great. I've stuck pretty much to that meal plan. I've added in, yes, some sweets, cookies and some ice creams and different things, but at the end of the day, the meal plan is super important to have when you are on a workout schedule. It works well together. Another one is journaling. I've always been big on journaling, but when I was journaling through this 30-day challenge, it really helped me to see where my mindset was. So I continue to journal, but during a challenge, I feel like the journaling aspect is super, super important. It helps you to figure out where you are, where you really want to go, and then what the challenges or obstacles truly are. And sometimes our obstacles are always in our head. I mean, sometimes they are in reality as well, but you learn how to overcome certain obstacles when you look back and you read your journal. And that's something I want to encourage people to do. Not only journaling, but reviewing your journal. And it doesn't matter how often you review that journal, but you just want to review it. You want to go back to what you were reading before and look it over. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, so you want to do that. And then I'm just talking about journaling, and I'm talking about a 30-day challenge that I'm going to be having soon. So yeah, and so you could join in anytime you're ready, okay, and then we could definitely just get right into it, okay. But yeah, so I'm encouraging you guys to join that 30-day challenge with me. I don't know when it's going to start, but it's going to start soon. I'm going to give myself, there's 5-6 more days till the end of this month, so I'm thinking maybe next Monday I'll start one. I'm not 100% sure. June has 30 days, so it might make sense to do it for June. I'm thinking, yeah, I'll do that. So June 1st is when I will start the challenge, okay? But yeah, so journaling was super important. And then there was another one also, electronics. You know, I was very strict with myself with the electronics. No electronics before bedtime, and then no electronics at bedtime. So that was really, really important. That was really, really important. And I felt as though the no electronics really helped me to sleep better. I turned the TV off, I turned my phone off, and okay, take it. These kids they know what they're doing, you know, they come, they know that I'm doing something, so then they're trying to get the Oreo cookies. Okay, go ahead. Yeah?
That's funny.
I'm funny?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay, so, yeah, alright, so 30-day challenge coming up. Very, very excited about it. So make sure next Monday, I'm going to commit myself to that. So I'm going to write it down. Monday, June 1st. I'm going to start the challenge. So I'm really looking forward to you guys coming through and doing that challenge with me. I always post something every single day about the challenge. This challenge is going to be a little bit different, but again, I'll let you know all about it. And mandatory for this challenge is going to be the journaling and the no shutting certain electronics off before bed. I feel like you get a better sleep. You rest better. It's like a full night's rest. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. Okay, so I'm just waiting for our guest to pop in. I'm very excited about our conversation that we're going to be having today. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch. This individual has different platforms on Instagram and different platforms in general, but we see on Instagram the different platforms he's involved in, so I'm just interested in finding out a little bit more about them. I'm interested in finding about his entrepreneurial journey here in Toronto, because I feel like Toronto is a great city. There are so many great individuals, and we're interested in getting to hear from Nathaniel. Nathaniel. So let's see what he has to say, what information he's going to give us for today. Ah,
What's
how
up?
are
What's
you?
up? I'm good. How you
How are
doing?
you? I'm good. I'm
You
good.
guys can hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Good.
Yeah. All right. So let's get right into it. How
All
about
right.
you just introduce yourself, let us know who you are and what you do.
Cool. I'm Nate. How y'all doing? What's up, Matic? What do I do? I'm a social worker. I counsel youth in custody. Um, at a reintegration home for youth in custody, and that's the only job I really do that I get paid from other people or I work for other people. Everything else is kind of just me on my own. I guess yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. Um, I also sing in a band, reggae band. Our lead singer got a Juno a couple years back, 2018. So that's crazy. And then other than that, it's just finding ways to connect, to spread love, peace, and joy. That's really what it is.
Okay, so talk about your social work.
Yeah.
What led you to like start doing that social work?
Um, I've always I've been surrounded by like my parents fostered when I was young. My family's always had like an open door concept. I've always kind of been a leader and a counselor and a helpmate for most of my friends and family. And when I came back from school, I decided, I got to figure out what I really want to do since football is not it anymore. I mean, it took me a few years to kind of figure it out, just working here and there. And I just thought about purpose and what my goals were, what I wanted to be known for, how I can get out my different passions. Social work came to mind. Actually, child and youth work came to mind first because I only really wanted to work with the youth population. But if I'm honest, it was a 3 year program, and social work was only a 2 year program, and social work was like much more broad. So I was like, you know what? Let me hit up social work. It still allows my options to keep open, and I don't have to be in school as long. So
Right.
yeah, that's how I got into that. Um, I used to foster for a bit while I was in school for social work. Actually, 2014,
Uh,
2015, I was a foster parent, doing one-to-ones with young men. So like 14. Nah, I think the youngest was 16 to about 19. Um, and then working this job is my first like real job as a social worker that I've been in, and it's been almost 4 years.
so how did you find social foster parenting?
Um, I I had one situation that was difficult. I fostered, I think, through the span of 4 or 5 years, I fostered maybe six youth. And my first experience, the first young man I fostered was phenomenal. The company did a great job of pairing us, and we have to this day a great relationship, and it worked out very well. Um, they didn't do such a good job with the next pairing, so we had some issues, almost life altering. Um, and then ever since then, it kind of has been smooth sailing until I stopped last year. So I enjoyed it. It's a different kind of fulfillment for sure, for sure. But like I said, it
So
comes with its challenges.
mm, how do they pair you?
Um, what they're supposed to do is, at least for the program I was in, is through my interview process, learn about me, what it is I like, I enjoy some of my experiences, and then with the youth, the same thing. So to see if he's kind of going through those same paths that I went through, or if he has the same interests, then they that's what they do. They pair us up. They let us meet each other first. Well, first they let me see the youth file, and then we meet, and then we both get to make the decision somewhat
Oh, that's
on
cool.
there. Yeah,
That's good. So would you get into it again?
yeah. I think I would if probably in the future, when life's a bit more stable. That's something I think I'd get back into.
Okay. Okay. So talk about all these different platforms you have on Instagram. I was checking them out and I'm like, okay, we got to talk about all of this. Um, you have so much going on. So talk about it like you have, okay, let's talk about Sunday Social first.
Yes. Oh yeah. Sunday social. Gotta represent, you know. So Sunday social, wow, that's like so I guess there's three phases to it. One is like music therapy. So I found at a young age I was surrounded by music. As I got older, whether I was dealing with anger issues, whether I was dealing with stresses of life, music was always there. And then more so, I've been blessed to be around live music a lot. So that was a big deal for me, to try to galvanize people who kind of feel the same way, and give them the same energy I felt when I went to live shows. One in particular that had a big impact on us was Live Thursdays, and I used to run downtown Toronto every Thursday night. Shout out James, shout out the Recipe Band. And when they were kind of coming to an end, my business partner and I decided, hey, like we had a business already. We were putting on events, but they were kind of one-offs. So we were like, what can we do that's a bit more consistent? Um, and we had been talking about that, and then we found out that Live Thursdays was like kind of weaning off. It stopped doing um, weekly, and then started going like bi-weekly, and then it ended up going just like holidays or the long weekend Sundays, and then it kind of fizzled out. So we were like, okay, how can we put something together that, of course, gives the same feeling we felt going there, but also has our feel on it. So what we did was have that first phase of the music therapy, like just providing the space for it to happen, and making sure it's live music and getting the musicians and singers in our city that are doing dope things that a lot of people don't even know about, and giving them opportunity as well. And then the second part of it was, like I just said, what we can hopefully provide for the city of Toronto and the general area outside of it, where it's like, now the younger musicians that we know, we can, especially like the church musicians, we can give them a chance to gig, and the singers who are out here but not really gigging or not really pushing themselves as much as they would like to, but they are extremely talented. We want to give them a voice as well. And then the third part, which is a big part as well, is the entrepreneurship part. So allowing, young black folks, black businesses, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, just building that community, building that trust. I think people know that, if you're in this space, and if we vouch for you, that means we value what you do, and we see the value that you can bring the community. So we just want to build with that. And yeah, it's been going just over 3 years.
Oh, wow.
3 years, so it's booming. It's been doing well.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, man.
So do you guys host it at like different events or different places, or is it all in the same like place every Sunday
Um,
or?
so it's the last Sunday of every month.
Okay.
Now we're running it out of Scarborough, out of Unit One. A segue to the next social media handle that you mentioned. Oh yeah, I see you, Len. Unit One is a space. that my uncle has, and he brought in my company to kind of run the day to day. And it's a shared workspace, and during the day it's a barber shop. Well, I don't say it's a barber shop. It's more of a pop up, anything to do with the barber hair design side of things. You can rent a chair, and you can get that's the traveling barber GTA. You can rent a chair and kind of do what you have to do for the day. It's good for a lot of like entrepreneurs who either work out of their garage or out of their home spaces but want to get out, as well as anybody who can just see a reason to use it. That's during the day. And then
Okay.
evenings and weekends, we have events, photo shoots. It's just an open space. You can kind of make it your canvas. And we run it. It's black owned. So we moved Sunday Social from where we were previously to that venue since
Mm.
December. So yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. So now that we are all on this quarantine,
hmm
you guys are probably not doing your Sunday socials. You do it like on Instagram Live or anything?
Yeah, the last what, March and April we've done it on Instagram Live.
Yeah.
It's weird, you know. It's a new platform. It's different,
Right.
but it's still a lot of fun. The comments still go mad crazy. We have a lot of fun with people. We bring in the artists so that they can perform from home, kind of thing.
Okay.
And we just have fun with it. Another thing we do with Sunday Social, we also showcase like spoken word artists and as well as visual artists. So while the band's up there, you'll have like somebody painting in the background, usually Kofi's art. But
Okay.
yeah, so when we do live on Instagram, we have like sometimes we have them come in as well and share memories, talk about what they're doing, what they got going on, and how we can support them as a community.
Okay. So you said you're in a band.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the
Movement
name of
of
your band?
RIL.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so
man.
that's the other platform that you have on Instagram
hmm
as well.
hmm
Okay, so talk about that band. How did you guys get together?
Uh, whew. One of my friends and I, her name's Letitia. We've been singing like backup here and there for different artists. I mean, kind of as a hobby, you know. Like I love music, I love singing. I'm not like no big time soloist or anything, but I do have a an understanding of music and how to harmonize and how to like give off the right energy. So that's what we've been doing. And then uh, she, I knew Kirk through some mutual friends, and she knew Kirk as well. And he said he wanted to start a band. So she's like, okay, dope. You know, I got some people. Let's make it happen. And like it was literally okay, cool. Learn the 1 2 songs. Sang backup for him maybe like 2 or 3 times, and then the band started pulling in musicians, another background singer, and then he's like, "Nah, you guys aren't my background singers no more. It's a band or a group now. Movement of RIL." And literally, as soon as he said that, we got like gig after gig after gig after gig, and just it was a beautiful thing, man. It was more fun than I anticipated. We sang all over Ontario, all over Canada, and then went and had a little tour in Jamaica too. So that was exciting. Yeah, man.
Okay, that's nice. Well, that's huge. That's huge. So out of all of these things, like, I mean, I guess you said you put a lot of energy into your Sunday social,
hmm
but this band seems like, you must put a lot of energy into that. Which one do you love the most?
Um, love the most. I don't know if hmm, I would say I love Sunday Social the most. But that still only means like if I love Sunday Social, 40%, everything else is even underneath it kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because I I need I can't really appreciate Sunday Social if I'm not doing other things. It's it's kind of weird. At least, actually, it's not that weird. I thought growing up it was very weird. I probably would have been categorized as ADD, ADHD, youth. I had a lot of energy, and was very, I had a lot of passions. So it's like in school, I would always get in trouble, not because my marks were low, but because as soon as I was done my work, I was disruptive. I was laughing and joking with people or doing other things or wanted to leave the classroom and go outside and play sports or whatever. So it was not until my maybe mid 20s. Nah, it was before that, but my mid 20s when I accepted that it was okay to have multiple passions, to be good at many things. Throughout high school, I played multiple sports, but I also was a musician in a band and sang in a choir for years. And I did decently in school, so I wasn't just a jock. Like, no one could just say, "Oh, he's just a jock. He's just all about sports." But like I said, I had many passions and was just trying to get great at all of them. And then, like at mid 20s, I was actually going to school. I went to Humber for social work first, and Humber was interesting because everywhere else, well, I went to universities before, so it's like a lot of the work is not really about you. It's about how you can regurgitate the information you've learned. Humber was all about me. It was like, why do you like this? Check all your biases. Learn more and more about yourself. Um, how do you define yourself? Where do you see yourself? How do you fit into the world? And it just made me, um, it forced me to be more comfortable with who I am in the sense that I didn't feel like I had to um, defend why I did what I did, or I didn't feel like I had to always be the odd one out because I enjoyed doing many things or because I was able to have friends in many different circles. That's where polymyth comes from, polymath. It just means poly is many and mathios or whatever is in Greek. It just means study or fields of study or learning. So for me, it was just like, oh, dope. There's a definition for somebody who has multiple passions and is trying to be good at them. Um, I haven't necessarily mastered them all like like a polymath should, but I'm doing what I can with what I got.
Okay. So you were talking about feeling comfortable with who you are and what you're
Yeah.
doing. Um, so how did that all, like, where did that come from?
Hmm. Um, I think I was blessed with strong influences in my life, male
Mm-hmm.
and female, men and women. Hey.
There you go.
um, and so I always had a sense of confidence and self worth, and then was taught to um, find the importance in self awareness. So I kind of I kind of was just raised with it, and then there's still like times in life where you kind of have to reevaluate where you fit in, what you are, the changes that you've gone through, how they're affecting you, how they're affecting the people around you. So I think um, around 2013 to about 2015 was just like a lot of growth, a lot of pruning, a lot of figuring out what I enjoy, um, figuring out how to function in this world in the society as a black male, figure out why I am the way I am, why I'm comfortable being the odd man out, why I'm comfortable doing things differently, and then more so learning how to allow my passions to work for me in a sense, so that I'm not, hating my life because I'm working a 9 to 5 for somebody else who tells me when I can take a break and not, and on vacation and not, and then depleting my energies and feeling burnt out all the time. How do I now find a balance to do, if I am working for somebody else, it's not because I need the money, it's because it's a passion of mine. And I think kind of putting that to my social life and my personal life as well. Just learn yourself, learn your desires, and then try to allow it to become a reality to you, like not just in your head anymore, but no, this is my reality. This is who I am, and I'm going to be comfortable in this.
And so you talk about like learning yourself. What
Hmm.
does that really mean, and how does someone learn themselves?
Um, what does it mean? I think it means, at least for me, it means kind of doing the work to figure out why you do the things you do. Why do you like the clothes you wear? Why do you like the colors you like, the numbers you like all the intricate stuff? Date yourself pretty much. Ask yourself the questions you would ask your hopefully future significant other, um, and learn learn why you have the answers you have. Because a lot of time we just kind of go through life and we're just doing what we're told to do. Um, we like scrambled eggs because that's what was made for us. We never actually tried any other kind of eggs. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just like, okay, so why do you like this kind of food? Why do you like sports? What do you get from it? Where where's your identity? I think dealing with like loss really like brings to the forefront what you are and who you are. So it's like, ah, I I broke up with my ex fiance in my early mid 20s, and it made me do a bunch more work to figure out who I was in myself. Because at that same time, I gave up the dream of playing football professionally. Um, I was planning to move and live on my own again. So it was like I just had so much time to relearn who I was without that person, without the identity of, a great athlete or potentially a professional football player. Um, and I think it's more just being humble, sitting down and going through those steps of why do I do this? Where did I learn this from? How do I unlearn this? Um, if this is who I want to be, these traits that I have need to be checked, you know? So I think doing the work is just identifying who you believe you are, who you want to be, and then the steps you need to take to get there.
Okay. So is that type of like is that did this stem from a loss? Like you said, a loss sometimes has you think of things, like think of these things, but not necessarily. I know we'll talk a little bit more. I seen your post on, your most recent loss
Mm,
in your family, but I mean, like, um, does this have to do, like, you doing this step in your life? Did this
yeah.
have to do with the loss of you breaking up with your ex fiance, or
Um,
was it a
I
loss of
think
the fall?
so. As that was happening, as that was happening, I was also going through like my own. I was already going through my own journey, with kind of discovering and rediscovering who I am. So, um, yes, that was. I believe that is one of the catalysts. Kind of giving up on football was another. one of the catalysts. Um, so before I was kind of doing the work just because I wanted to be the best me. But then when those things happen, um, it really became okay. Like we were we were in our community. We were a big part of it, both our church community and then our youth community, and then in just in our neighborhoods. So I was known. Like if you saw me, even if it was just out of courtesy, you would ask, "Oh, how's your lady doing?" You know what I mean? How's she? Or if you saw her, how's he? So it's like now you have to disconnect from that. Um, so the thoughts about disconnecting wasn't just as simple as, oh no, we broke up, that's it. It was like, wait a minute, we were very interconnected. You know what I mean? We very much relied on each other for a lot. We very much um, shifted a lot of ourselves to accommodate for the others, for the other. So it's like those were definitely catalysts. They pushed me to now say, okay, you know. Um, there's things I maybe stopped doing because I was with this person, or passions I maybe let go because I decided my priorities changed because of who I was with. So that very much did inform me getting back to who I am, or getting to who I was supposed to be that maybe I wasn't giving space for. So yeah, I think all forms of loss kind of push you for that. Like not just major loss of life, but just like, you know, losing identity, losing a significant other. I think those play a big role.
Yeah, definitely. And then, of course, how does, a major loss in your eyes play a big role in identifying who you are?
So I
And,
think it's crazy. Continue.
no, that's
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think that's crazy because depending on who it is in your life, it could definitely rock your world. Um, I lost my mom last year, April, cancer. She outlived her expiry date by like 2 years, but it was still devastating. It's your mother, and that was crazy to me too because a lot of what I did, you know, if she was proud of me, it was okay. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really care if other people had their feelings or emotions, and I've always been very independent as a kid. So I did what I did anyways, and I'm a Taurus. They say some that has something to do with it as well. Um, so I was who I
Actually,
was. I was who I was no matter what, and I never cared or felt like I had to answer to anyone but God. But I definitely cared how, my mother felt about it, how she would view me or what she would say, what her counsel would be. And then in my adult life as well, we became even closer because there's so much more I could understand and so much more comprehension now into adulthood. But and we had very similar personalities. So it's like a lot of life lessons and journeys she was a big part of. And then on top of that, she made it her mission as well to inform me about the things I would go through and not have any way out of. So just like, you know, bloodline issues, generational curses, like stuff like that. She really made it her mission to let me know, yo, you're a male, you're a Fray male, and you're a Smith male. These are the things that your uncles and your father has struggled with when they're your age. You're probably going to see them within the next years. These are some ways you can combat them. I think that was probably one of the most important things she's ever done for me. Just to, it helps me now. realize, one, I'm not alone in dealing with the issues I'll be dealing with, which is very important. Two, it gives me another reason to pay attention for things. So when you're a teenager, when you're a young adult, you're just kind of living and doing what you want to do, just trying to figure out your purpose, trying to figure out what you like doing and where you fit. For me, I was already informed with certain things, so like I knew that mental health was important for me. I have uncles who dealt with it, aunts, both sides of the family. She made sure I had an understanding of that. So then that now helped me with the decisions I'm making, with the people I allow in my life, with the stresses and how I deal with them, with with normalizing talking to somebody, somebody professional, somebody you trust, an elder, but not just holding on to everything on your own, not being afraid to cry and show emotion. These are things I didn't do because it was cool to do. I did because, oh, shoot. So you're telling me, the people in my family who have dealt with these stresses, the way they dealt with them was to hold it in and not say anything to anybody. And now they're in the situation they're in. Okay, how can I learn from that and apply it to my life? So because of those things, losing her kind of it rocked me for a bit. I think in a good way, in the sense that it propelled me to be more true to myself. Um, I'm a big brother. Like my natural reactions to things are to find ways I can help. So it was just now giving me an understanding that like life's short, so you gotta live, really live. Don't just exist, but live. Don't let her passing be as go through the emotions, go through the feelings, address them, and lean into them, right? Don't just try to pretend like you have it all together. Lean into them, let people help where they can help. But also now let it inform your decisions about life. You talked about traveling. Your mom's love traveling, but she would complain here and there lightly about how like she can't get away because of work or she can't get away because of responsibilities. So don't let that be your life. You understand that now moving forward, like as much as before, she was a big part of my why I do what I do, in anything I did. Now it's like the onus is on me. I have to be my own why. I have to, one, carry the mantle of loving on our family as much as she did because her heart was so big, but also doing this because I know that it's going to bring me a peace and it's going to bring like fill me with love so that I can love on others, so that I can show others that, hey, I'm a black male just like you. These are the things I'm doing. And it's not to compare, but it's just to give freedom to those that they can do it as well. And that's not just like entrepreneur stuff. It's also being vulnerable. It's also trying to be open and transparent. Period. Not just like with secrets, but like in your life, right? Try to be open with the ones you say you love. Try to be transparent. See what it looks like. Try to actually love on people and not worry about what others are going to think about it. Do it because you actually value them because at any time they could be gone. So, trying to be hard and not saying I love you, that doesn't make sense because then when they're gone in the ground and you're crying about it, you feel like you didn't get to say what you needed to say. So, yeah, I think her passing really informed that, and me trying to be more open to being more public about what I'm going through because it's like other people need to see that, they need to hear it, they need to know that it's okay for them to do that and be that as well.
I mean, you are super blessed because to have a mother who could talk to you so openly about different things that are affecting your family and to know, what to look out for. That is a huge blessing, a
Yeah.
huge blessing, because we don't see that a lot in our Black community. You know what I mean? We don't see that. So, like, being raised, growing up, like high school, elementary school, even through university and college, like, how did that look for you? Being confident in knowing who you were, and then sometimes being surrounded by people who do not necessarily understand who they are.
It was very interesting.
Mhm.
On some levels, I'm being praised, for being a leader, for being a thinker,
Mhm.
for you know, kind of living life without apology, just in the sense of not trying to wait for them to tell me it was okay to do what I did, like
Right.
doing it first and apologizing later if need be. So on some platforms I'm getting praised for it, and then on others I'm getting knocked down for it. Um, I think society on a whole doesn't want confident young black males, so they continue to feed us visions of us acting outside of who we're supposed to be. I'll put it that way. And they try to say that we're supposed to be one way. We're supposed to be criminal. We're supposed to be poor. We're supposed to be ignorant. We're supposed to only be jocks if we're good at anything, or rappers or musicians if we're good at anything. So on some days when I'm arguing with a bus driver because I'm using child ticket at 10, 11, 12, but I may look older. And then when he wants to yell at me and tell me to put in a student ticket, and I tell him that's kind of impossible. I don't have student tickets. I'm still a child. Well, where's your ID? I don't have ID either. I'm still a child. Then it's another argument because no, you're too articulate for a child, or like just I've had those issues. And then getting to school, it's another thing too, where it becomes, if you do speak up for yourself, then you're being rude and disrespectful, and abrasive. And I also I also I don't know, I think it was just like born into me from my family, but I didn't like injustices. So I didn't like abuses of power. And, in certain schools, especially if you're dealing with certain kind of teachers or certain kind of establishments, they hated that. So I got in trouble for that a lot, like speaking up for other kids, and getting into stuff I had no business getting into. But I don't know. I didn't necessarily notice it. I mean, it was an annoyance, but it was just what it was. It was just life for me. My family moved a lot, and it's like they battled with, do we raise our kids around black people, or do we take them out, to the country and have some land, and let them deal with the stuff that comes with that. So I had a balancing act, moving back and forth with friends from Toronto, friends from Rexdale, and friends from like Malton, and then on the opposite end, like Caledon and Orangeville and Cambridge, living out there. So it was just, for me, I thought it was phenomenal, because I was taught to make the best of my experiences. And then I didn't notice any effects until I was about 19, 20 years old. And then I started to realize, oh, okay, the weight of this does affect you. The weight of this does have you asking questions, and does have you trying to figure out who you are and why you're where you are. So it's blessing no matter what, I think, but it did come with its challenges. Yeah,
Okay, so that's a lot, and it's a big journey too.
yeah,
Um, that's a lot of experiences moving. back and forth. So Instagram is going to cut us off in like 20 seconds.
All
So
right.
I'm going to end this one and then I'll pop back on and
Bet.
we'll finish our conversation. Okay?
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.